in college, you're going to come to a crossroads to where you want to decide whether or not you would like to join a fraternity or sorority, or go your own individual path. For me, our whole first co-host, Brandon, we had like a short conversation of what fraternity we want to join.
If we did decide to do one.
Exactly. He said Kappa, I said Sigma. Boom, no. So, so we didn't end up doing any fraternity. For y'all two, I guess, what is y'all perception on...
Are you in a sorority?
I am not.
Okay. Good.
I should ask that person.
I'm about to.
We're going to stir some shit. What are y'all perceptions? Because I guess for guys it's a little different. What's your perception on sororities as opposed to your perception on fraternities? And go.
Okay, you go first.
Okay. Well, it's more so just on Greek life in general, right? I don't want to speak too much because I'm not that knowledgeable, so I don't want to be ignorant. But from what I do know about Greek life and just the culture, because I was
the hash afterwards.
I was going to pledge. I did think about it. My first choice was AKA.
Okay.
But after I did my research, I was like, they're not for me.
Right.
Then I moved on to Delta.
I was gonna say you should. I'm sorry.
I moved on to Delta because I like their principles, what they stood for. The reason why I shunned away from AKA is because of the foundation that they began. This is back where, colorism was big, like real colorism. This is still segregation times and all of that. So they did things like the brown paper bag test or the pencil test. And so the brown paper bag test is basically where they took a brown paper bag and they put it up against your skin, usually the inside of your forearm. If you were darker than the brown paper bag, you were not allowed to be in that sorority. I don't know shit. The Deltas did not. The AKAs did.
Oh, fuck y'all AKAs.
So this is now I don't know if you guys know this, but the women that began Deltas were former AKAs. They because of this they did not agree with it and they left, and that's when they created the Deltas.
Gotcha.
Now they also did the pencil test, which was they put a pencil in your hair. If it fell out, your hair was fine enough, you could be in. If it did not fall out, your hair was too coarse. So they did things like this. This is some institutions also did this to even allow you into the college. They did tests like this. So that was like something that I've learned, and I was just like, that's like the most of it that I know about. So that kind of turned me away from it. I leaned towards Delta because they had more, I guess they were more, I don't know, more in tune with African descent and culture and stuff like that. So, but I ended up not doing it all together. But my perception, I do think that each frat or sorority individually has its own meaning and determining and reason, and they can stand for some good things, and then there are some things that I just think are just dehumanizing, and that's just where I kind of gotta it's not for me. Greek life is not for me.
Yeah.
But some people, they make the best of it and it works out awesome for them. The opportunities, the connections, the people. I've met women that just say, if she's an AKA, I'm a hire her just because she's an AKA. And but then that doesn't make sense to me because you get grandfathered in if your ancestor was an AKA. So how do you determine what type of person this is if she got grandfathered in? She didn't do anything to work for. You know what I mean? It's all paperwork. So it was just a lot of politics and logistics and stuff like that I didn't agree with.
Exactly. It was all politics. So like Tommy said, we did have a talk. I did talk to these guys about this before, about possibly joining, if anything. But for me, I was too much of an individual to want to go into a fraternity because
You'd have pledged Kappa, wasn't you?
I can see him doing.
We talked only because I wanted to shimmy. That's it. I just want to shimmy. So we talked about it, but it's like, you know what? I thought about it. Also, I'm too much of an individual. Like I do not like to change my habits, my life, how I do things. I don't want that to be altered in any way.
Yeah.
And all the Kappa friends that I've had, or even just not Kappa friends specifically, but all the friends that I've had who pledged, male and female, when they finished, they were totally different people.
Really?
I was dating a girl who pledged, and when she came out of that, when she finished, she crossed, she was a totally different person, and our relationship ended like months after that. So it was like, I get it. They break you down to build you back up, how they do it like in the military and any other situation, but I don't like it though, because now like you become so like
they're creating a certain type of person.
They want you to be what they want you to be, and so your individuality doesn't like pretty much hold up after all of the pledging and hazing, and it's like a long time, like 6 to 8 weeks. So a lot of times you're not really the same person anymore.
Yeah.
So I never wanted to go through that. I don't want to be the type of person that needs to call them just to get favors, because I want to know that I made it somewhere off of my own merit, off of my own ability, off of my own skill. So when it's like, yo, listen, I'm applying here. Do you have any Kappas there? And they're like, oh yeah, for sure. And they just like kind of just push your application, on through. I don't like that. This is not me. So I mean, I'm not taking a shot. I'm pretty sure that I have we're gonna have some fraternity and sorority viewers who are gonna disagree, but that's cool. This from my perception.
Yeah.
The people that I've known, they changed. They were not the same people anymore. They were more so a part of. They wanted to be their sister, their brotherhood was all that mattered to them. So a lot of friends that they had before that didn't really matter that much anymore. So that's not my thing. It's not for me.
And like I was saying, if I were to pledge, like I said, my choice based on nothing but being or seeing the people that I've hung around when I was at Kane. If I were to pledge, or when I was considering pledging, Sigma was the only thing I was thinking about, because for some reason the Sigmas and the Zetas seem to be more down to earth than everybody else. Like they seem to be more welcoming, be more humble, or be more considerate of people's feelings and everything like that. The reason why I ended up not doing it, like I said, my boy Brandon decided he wanted to pledge Cap, and I was like, I don't feel like going through a process by myself, even though I'm a lonesome person. Like you said, you would see me walking around campus by myself, and I have no issues with that. I don't feel like paying for people to call themselves my brother or to be in a relationship with people.
Yeah, it is expensive. That's the other part of it too.
Talking
it's
to,
expensive. And
I don't want to go through the process. I know they'll say that they don't haze you or whatever, some shit like that. But I don't feel like people touching me. I don't want nobody to touch me. And at the end of the day, after I cross them calling me brother and shit like that, so that shit is out of pocket for me. So that's why I chose not to do it in the end. But if I were to pledge, it would have been Sigma, just because, like I said, they're more personable as people. I didn't want to shimmy that much. I didn't feel like walking around with bricks in my backpack and shit.
You wanted to shimmy.
No, I didn't.
We shimmy every time we go to a party.
That wasn't me.
Every time we go somewhere, we shimmy.
That was you.
That was you. You started, nigga.
You ain't got no proof.
There's videos. There is proof.
So
I just wanted a jacket. I wanted a jacket.
As far as like the fraternity sorority things go, for our viewers, if you are deciding that this may not be your first year, it may be your second, third, or fourth year, make sure, like Tish said, do your research before you actually join the fraternity or sorority of your choice, whether it be Divine Nine or anything outside of the Divine Nine, just to make sure everything that is going on in your mind matches up
aligns, because that foundation is serious. Like, you have to take it very seriously when you associate yourself with an organization. Understand their principles, understand their foundation, understand the founders and why they even started. Make sure that aligns with your truth.
Because you know what I mean? Go left, they'll blackball you. They will blackball you.
One thing I will say, like, super positive about fraternities, at least in my experience, like I said, I'm not in a fraternity, but they do open up a lot of doors for you later on down the line. They do stick together through everything, no matter what happens.
They're like the fucking police department.
If you pledged in 2001 and you come through a party in 2018, they will still support you, and they'll still throw your shit up the same way that they do for their newer brothers. Like, it's a beautiful thing to see afterwards, but
it's like a gang.
The whole process. It's a positive gang, but yeah, it is like a group of brothers coming together. But shit, what the fuck was I about to say? You said it's a gang, and that threw me the fuck off.
It's like a gang, I said.
It is, I guess, similar to a gang, but they're more positive than the gang is. They do things for community service. The main reason why I thought about joining a fraternity in the first place, though, was because when you see similar to like gang members, when you see all the drug dealers with all the fancy cars, when you see all the Sigmas and the Kappas with all the bitches, that's exactly why. Yeah, that's why I want to be
part of the stroll.
A lot of people are going to want to join a fraternity just because
he couldn't wait to stroll.
A lot of people are going to want to join the Greek life because they want to get bitches for the most part. And if you're going in with that mindset, I can't speak to it, but that's probably not the mindset, the right mindset to go into it with.
Start hitting your ass with that paddle. You thinking
you will get bitches in the end, but you got to go through a process. You got to make sure, like you said, the beliefs
and it's
are
like,
there.
is it worth it? Just if that's your only goal,
you got to make sure
really
it's worth it. Don't just go in there for one thing. Make sure you study up and know everything behind your fraternity, because if you don't, one thing, they will teach you that in the process, and two, if you don't make it through the process, then you just got your ass beat for no fucking reason.
Even if you have parents that did pledge and they kind of like egg you on to pledge, if it's not what you want, still don't do it, because it's not worth it. If you don't want to do it, because my father was it's like an old school, he's a Groove 5 Groove. Brandon's dad actually is a Groove 5 Groove also, but I
had a mentor when I was a Q.
Huh?
I had a mentor that was a Q when I was in high school. He was like mentoring me or telling me how to go about applying to college and shit like that.
That's nice, Tommy.
We talk about our experiences and
I'm
shit.
saying,
fuck you.
It's just, I mean, if it's not what you want, man, just don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Look into it. If you're on the fence about it, look into it. Study it. You know what I'm saying? Like she said, it's very important to study things, look into things. Otherwise, you will make the wrong decisions. And college is not the place you want to make too many wrong decisions.
Yeah.
Unless it's drugs.
Too many, and you end up fucked up and like missing out on a lot of shit, or just like wasting money, because pretty much everything you're doing